So now we have our first build order for rock, and this time for the north side. Both rock positions are different. That's why we have different build orders. It's mostly because the hydro is here further away than here. The hydro is much closer here. Yeah. Okay, we have factory. 2 max, 4 pigeons. I do them here. There are a lot of different options. But I do it this way, and you will see soon why I do it in this very manner. So those 2 maxes have to be put here, not here. They have to be this and that. 3 pigeons, they have to basically also be here. Then max 3 and 4, and then we need another 4 pigeons, and I do them also here, and you will see soon why. And after 7 pigeons in total, we go with the air factory, and then I go basically with another 3 pigeons. So we have in total 10, and we will have at this time also the hydro before I upgrade take 2 mixes. The first engineer goes directly here at this specific position. That's why then the engineer doesn't move anymore, and every other building here is in range while it assists the ACU. So the first engineer is going to assist the ACU. Now we can't queue up more, because after all those buildings we want to upgrade our mixes. This build order will hopefully, if I do it correctly, turn out in a 2-minute 45 transport with 3 engineers in it, which is very great because there's rarely any interceptor build that makes the beach player able to intercept your transport. It doesn't ruin your eco, and it gives you... We sacrifice a little bit our early maxes, but therefore we get the maxes on the island earlier. So, but it's very important that you reclaim very carefully and don't break your trees. That's mandatory. If you fuck your reclaim up here, you will get screwed on power, because if you have a look at the top left, minor power stall now, you see that we have to get this power. So, like after factory, 2 max, 3 pigeons, max 3 and 4, pigeon 4 till 7, air factory, another 3 pigeons. We manage 3 engineers reclaiming. The 3rd engineer will go here, reclaim here, and get those maxes. You will see how I do it soon. And those 2 engineers reclaim towards here. You have to get more reclaim on the route, because otherwise you will stall on power on making the transport. So you don't go directly here, and you have to basically, you will see how much I will reclaim, get a lot of tree groups here. But you will see how it turns out, and then you might be convinced or not. So yeah, and then the next engineers, after the 4th engineer, the next engineers go here. So we want to have 3 engineers here, because those engineers will assist the transport building, and then those 3 engineers will be used for the transport. After those 3 engineers, we will start reclaiming those rocks here. This gives nice mass boost, and then we go basically to the closest possible tree chunks. I recommend taking this max basically as fast as possible, because you don't need the power after you use the transport. So it's actually not that necessary to get for the tree reclaim that soon. So go with one of the early engineers as fast as possible here. You only basically need those trees here. Okay, I need to focus a bit. really that might already lead, and to, I mean, this is kind of, I mean, I don't like the word pro, but it is very APM heavy. We fucked here up a little bit reclaim. A little bit fucking up is not that big of a deal, but you see, this is a mistake already. That's why we have so much mass right now. It was dump. Yeah, I set up this command, which I shouldn't have. I will actually just repeat that after we did it here once. It's actually a good showcase how easily you can fuck it up, or actually how not that bad is it. It's important that you have the move command here, so your engineers don't move over there. So this is now 250, 255, so it's a little bit late. With those Hydra engineers, I expand then to those maxes here. Now we go reclaim. Yeah, I did do it. I will now do a showcase again without talking. And then you can think about whether you want to use build orders like this, because yeah, if you do mistakes like I did right now, then they don't work out as intended, maybe. But on the other hand, even with all the fuck ups I did in this build that I did here, or on this specific playthrough, I was basically still fine. So now we do it properly without talking too much. So factory, 3 pigeons. But if you master that, then you have perfect start basically all the time. There are very rare things that can interrupt you then. There are later things that you have to consider, like if you go for maxes first or if you go factory first when you arrive on the island. But overall, your early transport with that combination gives you a nice eco with an island that is nearly impossible to be conquered from beach. Yeah, but like I said, I can't talk too much now. Yeah, so you see that nicely. Just assist here without moving, and you basically want all your engineering units to move as few as possible. Because every movement wastes time. Actually, if I got this here, then yeah, but this was like 1 second. That power stall. Though 5th engineer over here without going for the reclaim. Yeah, you have to be careful. So assist this engineer. Have a look on my eco management. So now we have all the 3 engineers here. The next one here. Assist the hydro. Oh, little mistake. It didn't queue up. You see, that's already bad because that was movement. So we see now power is fine, mass is fine, transport is out at 245. we go over here. Don't forget to expand this route and get your scout early on, and then you actually want to see if there's someone going for your shit. We forgot. Okay, that's where now that was turned out pretty fine. I just should have started the upgrades a little bit faster. So now I go with take two mixes, and then we need more power. I don't actually, at the beginning I think that's you have to put them here because of the engineer, but after that I don't like to ring my pigeon my mixes with power. The efficiency isn't that good, and you get the disadvantage that you have to reclaim them later when you want to make storages. So I go like for my stomach like with 3 pigeons, then the next max, then I don't know, it's different, it doesn't matter that much, it depends also on how efficient you are reclaiming the engineers. But then another 2 pigeons, then the 4th engineer here, and then you spam a lot of power, which you basically build anywhere close to your ACU, not in range of the maxes, so you have less APM later to reclaim then, and then you make just a lot of power, and you assist it over time with some engineers. But you need a lot of power for the transition to Tech 2. And what you usually want to do is get your air factory here to Tech 2 for Tech 2 engineers. And you do that because Tech 2 land, Tech 2 air is the cheapest. It's 710, the upgrade. For land, it's 1170. And it's more power here, but you will have that power, and you will also need it later, the power. So you want to save that 400 mass. And you can benefit more from air units Tech 2 that you could from land units. So you don't need Tech 2 land units, but you can use like a Tech 2 transport or a bomber or torpedo bomber from air factories. So that's basically the always go-to option on setons Navy positions. Basically true for both sides. To go for the air factory. Yeah. Get this max. Now we got all maxes here. I forgot this. You want to take that, you can use that. The transport arrives. You could also drop them in different positions. If you get this early, I kinda shift G distribute orders. You could be more efficient by reclaiming. It's just an APM question to go maxes first, but it's not safe. So if you want to be more careful, go with factory first, then you're safer with any aggression. If you want to be really crazy, you can use that transport to use it on this engineer to get this max here faster. Oh, little mistake again. I use this engineer for my ACU to assist it. Usually interceptors should be here. If you see that you have mass, just push the next upgrades here, and then we will, don't forget to assist your ACU. You want to have like 2 or 3 engineers assisting it, because you need that power income earlier than a lot of people think, and then start to power stall. You can do a lot of things, but you don't have to like reclaim it this year manually. You can also just use this engineer there. And what you want to be as efficient as possible, get some engineers here to reclaim and to have engineers for build power. You see my economy is pretty balanced all the time, but it's also true because I reclaim here. And then you want to prepare to take up your maxes as efficiently as possible. And this you make possible by reclaiming efficiently. So what you don't want is like 5 engineers in every spot. You only need 1 or 2, and basically 1 is perfect, because then they don't reclaim that fast, and you have more time to readjust the commands. All the time you see that you get some mass income, you go for upgrades. And the other question is how early you go Navy. Actually, you want to go later. There's no need there. I mean, you could develop strategies, but there's basically no need to make any Navy before all maxes are Tech 2. But you have to make Navy if your enemy does it. So, and you shouldn't do it too late, because some frigates early are always good because they provide you map control. You don't want to be only at your shore with your vision. You want to have yeah, talking. And then I stop now. Inties depends on the enemy, but I have 7 inties. Usually you're good with less inties. I would power more. I would boost more my power production in that case to make then the HQ here. I like to make 5 Tech 2 engineers. You don't want to overbuild engineers, which I actually do sometimes, but you also need kind of a decent amount of engineers, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to boost all your maxes. And this is now in the Navy production, and this is then I just accumulate here engineers just in case, and while accumulating them I reclaim this tree here. And other than that, now I care for how the where the attack moves are for the reclaim, so you don't miss out. It happens sometimes, then you can readjust manually, but the attack move from factory is always the most efficient, and you don't want to lose them. Yeah, I mean, it depends. Actually, we are pretty beyond any build order situation, although it's pretty common to do it like this. But you have to react on what your enemy does. Because if your enemy does more aggression, you go less maxes and more Navy. But overall, you want to use your mass as fast as possible. We also boosted those pigeons, because once you run out of tree reclaim, you will stall power pretty hard. I mean, we had a lot of power available earlier, but this wouldn't be the case anymore, because we run out of tree reclaim, and then you need all the pigeons. And then you go this Tech 2 pigeon here, and I mean, from now on, basically the build order is kind of over, because now you have a lot of options. You could go full out Navy now. Yeah, you could go full out Navy now, or you just go eco. I mean, it depends on whether you're the reacting player or the aggressor, basically. It depends also what happens on other spots. I will make an extra video about strategic awareness. I mean, people love build orders, but you need to be able to react to anything that happens on the map. I mean, if you want, for example, to go full Tech 3 maxes at minute, I don't know, 18, it's quite early for rock, then you might lose your game, because the enemy opts for aggression and is successful with that. And then you usually lose up with, if you just follow up your build order. And then, for example, you have to decide at what point you, for example, invest into helping your other positions. It's pretty often the case that you might help front or beach. But I will just proceed a little bit here now. You can just skip it. I mean, we have now not a lot of Navy aggression here from the enemy, so we just assume that it's the case. I mean, there's sometimes that situation, and what you want to do now is upgrade your maxes as efficiently as possible, and you do that by already organizing enough engineers so you have them. Yeah, now the second pigeon was perfectly ready, and now you have enough power to upgrade Tech 3 maxes, but the most efficient way is, even if you have now some mass, to go full capped maxes. This is now quite important. Now we don't have to reclaim that, because I wouldn't reclaim the Tech 1 pigeons at this moment. It's just fine with that amount. And now you can reclaim that. You don't need the land factory at this point anymore. We have now enough engineers to go reclaiming. And you want basically on all important spots, like, enough engineers. 10 is a good amount, 5 to 10, to go upgrading your mixes. Like you see here. It's cool to have some here to get those, and then here to get them those, and you want them on multiple places, because you don't want to use only one route, because then you wouldn't be able to spend your mass. And it's also quite important to understand that you have to prepare build power for later. A lot of people struggle when ecoing. They eco, and they spend their mass, and once they reach a certain point, they have accumulated so much eco that they can't spend the mass. But this is very absolutely crucial thing, to be able to spend your mass without the time delay once you need it or once you decide to use it. Yeah, and that's why, I mean, it's on one point it's not efficient to make engineers here, because you don't need them for reclaim, but you will need them to spend your mass later on. And that's why you have to at some point even make more factories for making more engineers. Or you assist the factory. Single factory is also an option. And now, I mean, now it gets a little bit more critical, because you have to manage your power. I do it by build orders, so I know that it's a little bit delayed. It's like in 2 minutes 30 they start to make the pigeons after they finished. No, it's a little bit. No, it will be faster here. Like, what's that? Where's the time ETA? Oh, they start now, which is good. I mean, we have enough power here, but once you go for Tech 3 mixes, yeah, you see that Tech 3 mixes take a lot of power. This is like, it was like our 500 power to be able to spend all the mass. And yeah, that's the eco manager kicking in, balancing out the upgrade. Actually, we have too few power. I mean, you would think, wow, cool, eco manager makes it so easy, but you have to understand that I made it basically a mistake. I mean, not a mistake, but if that pigeon would have been done, it would have been better. Because it avoids stall doesn't mean that I had a correct build order. It just makes me not stalling mass. But my build order is bad or not perfect. And people rely on those eco managers by thinking, it's cool to go with this way, but it was actually bad. And what you do now is that now you can just go taking up maxes like crazy. You actually want to reclaim this because you don't want to lose out on the storage here. In the meantime, I would always go with some emergency factories, so you have build power to make navy in any case. And now you just get Tech 3 maxes, and the go-to way is actually to bring your ACU to Tech 3 to get access to Tech 3 power. So that's why you're going this. I suggest, let's see how it turns out. It's pretty weird now without teammates. So it's basically Tech 3 ACU after like 2 or 3 Tech 3 mixes. You don't want power to have available too late. Don't underestimate the importance of power, because if you don't have the power available, then we can't spend the mass. It's quite early, you could not spend mass here, but it's always a question of how careful you are, or how risky you want to go. I mean, the more build power you have available, the easier it is for you to react, because there's nothing worse than having to deal with an aggressive situation and you don't have build power to build anything. Yeah, that's what I saw. Now it looked like we have a lot of power, but we don't. So, yeah. Basically, always turns out that you should go with like 2 pigeons and then with 4 Tech 2 pigeons. I like it to do it this way. It's not that problematic to have this situation here. You can readjust it, because right now we don't Tech 3, but we need it soon. And in the meantime, we eco up. Actually, we should have had some more engineers here. And as soon as you see that you are not going to stall, you upgrade as much maxes as possible. You don't want to have mass in your bank. You want to spend this as fast as possible, and to be able to spend it as fast as possible is by having enough power available. That's probably often a problem. If I wouldn't have those 4 Tech 2 pigeons, I wouldn't be able to spend all my mass right now. I mean, yes, Eco Manager is kicking in, but it's still, I'm still on my own able to judge that I had to have built this power. I mean, if I had only 2 Tech 2 pigeons, it would also pause it, but it would pause it constantly, and you would end up extremely inefficient. So Eco Manager doesn't remove your responsibility for having the correct builds. Yeah, you pretty often end up, or you should actually, yeah, you end up here with this the last Tech 2 mixes, because your Tech 3 ACU will make it faster, and actually you can reclaim here. It makes it a little bit more efficient if you do them at last, because we can reclaim the maxes with our ACU. Pretty close on power. I mean, usually you get air overflow, which you can calculate in, because air pretty often provides a little bit of power, and it's also not that problematic to have this power stall here. Yeah, now you have your ACU here, and you can, like you do it on the air build order, or you can do it like you always do. You just reclaim that max, and then you get a little bit of eco back. But rule number 1 is don't have mass in the storage, so spend it as fast as possible. So now we are at 1620. This will finish soon. This is finished, and I will move over here. And in the meantime, you can already go upgrading your navy, because now we have so much mass that we wouldn't be actually able to spend it here. I mean, we are, but you should have now a decent amount of build power here. That's borderline fine. We need to make now a lot of build power because we need it soon. It's pretty important to use everything you have. This was a super greedy build because they're basically, I assumed there's no aggression happening. So otherwise you would build units earlier, and that's why I mean, that's not record, like, it's actually 1730. It's very early for Rock, full Tech 3 eco. But we made very few units, but like 17 is absolutely possible. It depends on how much units you do. But yeah, you can repeat it. But you, first of all, you now had a showcase, and it wasn't perfect micro or perfect execution. I mean, we have here some tree reclaim, we have here some tree reclaim. We did it a little bit bad on power, but and also by talking, I missed out some points. But overall, you see now that full Tech 3 max is possible on 17 minutes, but I don't actually recommend it. You want to have Navy earlier, and you can also benefit on Navy, but then we go off from the topic build orders, because then it's a combination from build order and gameplay, and that's really hard to showcase because it's so different every time. I mean, you can look up my replays, and if I do casts, I explain more about that. But for now, this was a full execution on the North Rock build order. I will do another one for here, and I don't know whether, I mean, you can do a lot of other things. You can do Corsairs, and you need specific build orders. You have to make actually a different build order for Tech 3 Comdrop, where you need more build power earlier and more power earlier. There's so many things we can do, and it's partially different for both sides. I don't know if I can make all those build orders, but I think this is the most the most basic build order you can think about. It provides you an early island, it provides you a very good economy, and it's important. Last thing that is important to note is, don't forget stockpiling up eco. I mean, it's okay if we start now. You see how fast we get now mass in the bank, and you want to spend it, and we can't even spend it right here. The Tech 3 Navy will do a lot, so you have to go very fast on increasing Navy. I recommend going Tech 3 factories here, slave factories, as fast as possible after you made the upgrades. That will also improve your ability to spend your mass. Battleships. Next topic is the Navy combination. I mean, you would also proceed here. Now you get to the mass fab stage and so on, but I don't go about this. This you have to find out on your own, because that's even more specific. We don't have RAS, so we go like 3 or 4 pigeons, and then we make RAS basically at the last, basically the last eco thing we do on Rock. Yeah. You also want some destroyers, you want different things. Yeah, we are very late on bit power, which I would normally not. So if we would have had less, we would be in a situation you never want to have that much mass. But once we upgraded now our Navy HQ to Tech 3, and we will have our other factories up to Tech 3, we will be pretty fast able to all upgrading here to Tech 3, and we will be able to use the mass. It's really close, you see, but now you get absurd amount of Navy production, but you still want engineers, especially on some factories where you spam battleships. It's absolutely too few build power. But as I said, it was a greedy build order. That's actually why I didn't recommend go for 17 minutes. Just go for 18 or 19 and have more build power available, because it doesn't make any use for you to have this early mass income if you can't spend it. Oh, now we're overflowing. Let's hope the factories will be done soon. Why the fuck are we overflowing? Let's get RAS. Always a good thing to have some mass storages available. Now we're able to spend our mass. I mean, once those factories here are done, it will start really kicking in. But can't say it too often. It was very greedy. RAS is done. Now we can go RAS SCUs. Or make a nuke, for example. Yeah, it's good. Actually, it's good. Or you give mass to your teammates. Actually, if I had teammates, I would have given them mass. And yeah, another solution would have been obviously to make more factories. Right now it's too late. Now we're soon able to spend all the mass. Don't forget sonar. Actually, even earlier, you want sonar. Yeah. Yeah, if you're at that point, then you will now produce absurd amounts of navy. But you should have had more build power early. But I don't repeat this showcase right now to make it a little bit different. I maybe even make another build order, but I don't make build orders until minute 20 all the time. So we just take this showcase, although it wasn't perfect. But I think if we talk about build order, I did show you what is basically possible in terms of eco. But don't target only for eco, target for having also enough units all the time. But now it's cool. So that's also why I don't build up too much bit power right now. Oh, somehow they pause. Yeah, I think did they? No, maybe it was dump and a lot of engineers didn't. Our good old path fanning issues. Yeah, but this should overwhelm any beach player right now. And actually we can stop now making more build power, because it's just a matter of like 1 minute or so that we stall mass. Yeah, okay, we stop right here.